been placed here to make a difference in other people's lives and to have an impact, a positive impact in our community. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is how you go about doing that and what you need to focus on. I call the title of this discussion is Networking and Living with a Purpose. And that's what that dash is. It's your life and what your purpose is. Because we're all still here, and if right now you're not real happy with what that life stands for, you still have a chance to make a difference and change it and do something different about it. Every day you have that chance. Now, anytime you set out to do anything, you need to, first of all, have goals. And what is that purpose? 2, what are your expectations? And 3, what are the opportunities to create that purpose? Goals and purpose. Help our region, this is one of mine, help our region become one of the best places to live, work, and play. Create lifetime clients and friends. Relationships. Does everybody understand the difference between, I tell people, my staff, I said, you're not selling, you're building relationships. You're creating relationships. There's a difference between a transactional client and a relationship client. Your relationship client's going to be your lifetime clients. They're the ones that are going to refer you. They're going to be your cheerleaders. So the objectives that we have under goals is to be a service to others. Service to others. Instead of, you hear a lot of this from some people, well, what's in it for me? That's not what it's about. The question we need to be asking is, what's in it for them? You promote others, you solve problems for others. If you can determine what it is that the challenge that your client has, or that your friend has, and what that problem is that they have, and you can give them a solution to resolve that, or a product, or a service, they'll pay well for that. And relationship customers pay better than transactional customers do. Give to others, learn and educate others, and instead of being a salesperson, get the title of becoming a trusted advisor. Wouldn't you rather do business with a person who's a trusted advisor than just some slick salesperson? Instead of winning customers, engage promoters. You want to create cheerleaders for your business. And in order to do that, you have to provide them an experience that they receive nowhere else in your line of work. And this creates a branding for your company and yourself. So what are our expectations? We want to meet more people to enlarge our circle of influence. The bigger that circle of influence becomes, the more opportunities you have. And I always tell my team, we all are working under this circle of influence. And each person on that team is on the edge of that circle. And they each have a very, very important part to play, whether it's greeting customers when they come in the door, whether it's answering the telephone, whether it's working with them on product knowledge, design, the proposals. The list goes on and on of what you do to move a client through the system. But if anybody on that circle drops the ball, that client now has a chance to escape and get away. All right? So it's up to each person to play the game to their best ability, but at the same time, if somebody happens to drop the ball, you have other players on the team that understand, hey, we got to pick that up now. We got to pick that other person up, pick up the ball, and bring that customer and keep them back in that circle. So it's important for everybody to be playing the same game with the same mission, the same vision. become more involved in your community. The more engaged you become in your community, the more people get to know you. And people like to do business with people who they know, like, and trust. And I've always worked on the premise that it's not what you know, but who you know. I'm sure you have all heard that. And some of you have heard me say this before, some of you haven't. There's another level to that. And I had a mentor advisor tell me this when we talked about this. He said, Monte, there's one more step. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. And what it is you stand for, what it is that you're committed to, what your purpose is, what your products are, what your service is, whatever that may be. And the way to do that is to be more engaged with your circle of influence. You want to create value. That's part of solving problems, is creating value. And then, of course, the byproduct of all this is you end up making a sale. And you end up generating revenue for your company. And then what are those opportunities? You have service clubs, chambers of commerce, business districts, volunteering for nonprofits, church, business clubs, social media. There's so many opportunities out there today that didn't exist several years ago in order to promote your brand, your image, your staff, team, products, all those kind of things. Obviously, social media is a big push these days. And I hear people tell me quite frequently, man, I really like reading your stuff, you do a great job, la 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 la. And I said, well, how come you don't ever comment? How come you never like it? Well, I don't know, I just read stuff. I said, oh, so you're one of those lurkers. And then they complain because they don't see all their friends. Well, do you realize that they're watching who you engage with, what you engage with? If you haven't been seeing Jason lately, go click like a few times on some of his posts, and the next thing you know, Jason's going to show up more frequently in your news feed. I tell people, if all you do is sit on the sidelines and read on social media, a lurker, and you don't engage, you're not networking. That's like going to this group here, sitting over in the corner booth and listening and not saying anything or engaging with anybody. It's the same thing, only it's on your smartphone or your computer. So engage. Engage when you're on social media. Now, after you instill these things in your daily activities, you need to be consistent, you need to be frequent, and you've got to do what you say you're going to do. People appreciate people who, when they tell them, I'm going to be there, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to get involved with this project, that you follow through so that people know you're committed. I like to say, one of the things that I've always been very, very what would be the word that I've always promoted? It's what they call the 4 C's. Connect, communicate, collaborate, and do it consistently. That's in your business life, it's if you're going to school, if it's in your church, if it's in your business club, if it's in your personal life. Communicate, connect, collaborate, do it consistently. And if you want something bad enough, the great thing about the great United States here is you have the freedom to achieve it and attain it. What I always try to do is try to make a point every morning when I wake up and see myself in the mirror is to be grateful that I've been blessed with another day and another opportunity to make a difference in someone's day. Whether that's just saying, hey, I love the blouse you're wearing today, or the shoes, or whatever it may be, something nice. Life is always a lot better when you're smiling and the people you're talking to are smiling as well. I'll leave you with this last thing. Do you realize we're all novelists? We're all writing books, or a book. And it's a book about your life. It's that dash. All right? And you have a choice of how that book's going to turn out and what that dash is going to be, so that when the time does come and there's a date on your tombstone of the end, people will sit there and say, Bob was a good person. He did some wonderful things in our community. He was very engaged. He had a successful business. He had a great team of employees. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But that's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. Any questions?